Social media comments. Donald Trump tweets. November 10, 2019. Retweet. Watch. At Jesse B. Waters. On Epstein, Waters' World is calling for an independent investigation into ABC News. The media wants to protect the Trump whistleblower but tries to fire the Epstein whistleblower. The media has gone completely bad.
Protecting pedophiles for politics. That's the subject of tonight's Waters' Words. There's something very wicked that's happening in America. There's a major media blackout on Jeffrey Epstein, and we all know why. The whole thing is starting to make me feel sick to my stomach. Now, I'm not going to let this story go. Waters' World is going to pursue it as far as we can. Project Veritas blew it wide open this week, and they deserve a ton of credit. This was their best work to date. Video of ABC anchor Amy Robach dishing that she had the goods on Epstein, even a Clinton connection, but the network shut it down.
She told me everything. She had pictures, she had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything.
It's so sad. Robach released a statement. As a journalist, as the Epstein story continued to unfold last summer, I was caught in a private moment of frustration. I was upset that an important interview I had conducted with Virginia Roberts didn't air because we could not obtain sufficient corroborating evidence to meet ABC's editorial standards about her allegations. In the years since, no one has ever told me or the team to stop reporting on Jeffrey Epstein. The statement reads like she had a gun to her head. ABC had victims and witnesses on the record, photographic evidence, fingering Epstein, fingering the British royal family, with a Bill Clinton angle. And that didn't meet ABC's editorial standards? What the hell are ABC's editorial standards?
Retweet. Happy 244th birthday to the most powerful fighting force on the planet, there. At USMC. Hashtag happy birthday Marines. Retweet. ABC is as bad as the rest of them? Journalistic standards are non-existent today. The press is so dishonest that we no longer have freedom of the press. Retweet. Hashtag happy birthday Marines. Today, we celebrate our heritage and honor the sacrifices of those who fought before us. corrupt politician Adam Schiff wants people from the White House to testify in his and Pelosi's disgraceful witch hunt. Yet he will not allow a White House lawyer, nor will he allow any of our requested witnesses. This is a first in due process and congressional history. There's nothing there. I'm trying to let the House know that they're dividing America for no good reason. We've got a lot of things we should be doing, like lowering drug costs and getting a trade deal with Mexico and Canada. At Lindsey Graham SC. The do-nothing Dems have gone crazy. The call to the Ukrainian president was perfect. Read the transcript. There was nothing said that was in any way wrong. Republicans, don't be led into the fool's trap of saying it was not perfect, but is not impeachable. No, it is much stronger than that. Nothing was done wrong. At Nikki Haley is out with a new book. With all due respect this week. Make sure you order your copy today, or stop by one of her book tour stops to get a copy and say hello. Good luck, Nikki. Retweet. The Dems aren't just tripping our country in half with this impeachment charade, they're also willingly setting fire to our alliance Ukraine. Mr. Zeldin, your opinion is this impeachment inquiry is damaging our relationship with Ukraine? Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, I think so, Congressman. Retweet. If Chairman Adam Schiff and Democrats are denying GOP impeachment witnesses to prevent a sham process, they're certainly too late, because that's exactly what these last 6 weeks of House Democrats' attempted impeachment have been. A sham. Retweet. The whistleblower and all of his supposed sources should testify and answer GOP questions. Schiff blocking this would signal the whistleblower testifying would hurt Schiff's case and or even implicate Schiff and his team in wrongdoing. Any other excuse is just a disgusting smokescreen. Retweet. With President. At Real Donald Trump. The signature on the National POW-MIA Act. The POW/MIA flag will now be flown with the American flag at certain memorials and federal buildings, including the White House and the Capitol, to honor our nation's unaccounted for service members. Retweet. Just finished reading my son Donald's just out new book, Triggered. It is really good. He, along with many of us, was very unfairly treated. But we all fight back, and we always win.
Let's go back to Sarah Carter. So Sarah, I've been inveighing against these fact witnesses that have no real facts. They're peddling hearsay and offering speculation and opinion. What do you think?
Well, and I was saying, Greg, before we lost audio, I'm glad to be back, that the question we have to ask is why. And what I can tell you is this. Based on the number of sources that I've been talking to, and this is over the last several years, and including in the last 8 months, 5 months, there has been an animus towards President Trump within certain members and certain people within the State Department. We know this within the bureaucracy, within the deep state. President Trump has also faced what no other president has had to face in this extreme hostility that he has people within, sorry to say, but within his own White House who are doing the same. And they were waiting for a moment to pounce. President Trump had every reason to get rid of Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch. Every reason. She was operating against him. She didn't like him. You know, she's come out and said, no, that's not the truth. But a number of sources that worked very closely with her that I've spoken with said that's absolutely not true, that she actually had this animus toward the president anyways. And it's at the president's pleasure that he put an ambassador that will follow his foreign policy directorate in Ukraine. That's what he has.
Right.
But the anger and the backlash is unbelievable. And this is something, it's really quite extraordinary. I call it Witch Hunt 2.0. And this is now Witch Hunt 2.0 with Ukraine, Greg. And what we're going to see is it going to stop here.
Right.
Remember, there's a lot of people fighting for what they believe are their lifelong careerists in the bureaucracy. They're fighting for their lives. They're shifting the narrative away from the investigation that you and I both have talked about for years, which is the Russia investigation, the malfeasance that occurred in the FBI, and the malfeasance in our own U.S. intelligence community. And they want that narrative to shift, and that's what they're doing here.
Yeah, in my new book, Witch Hunt, I call it the malignant force that have been fighting ever since the president was elected. And the whistleblower's attorney, Mark Zaid, is among the malignant force. We now know, as far back as early 2017, just after the president had been sworn into office, he sends out tweets that say, "A coup has started, impeachment will follow." So this was all just a setup. This is a guy, Mark Zaid, who was soliciting people at the CIA to be whistleblowers. He was fishing for clients to invent a pretext to impeach the president, and he finally hooked one with the faux whistleblower who, under the law, doesn't even qualify as a whistleblower.
Absolutely. And Mark Zaid just didn't appear out of thin air, Greg. Mark Zaid has been around for a long time. He has been closely connected, of course, with the U.S. intelligence community. He has represented other CIA officers as an attorney for them. He very much knows what's going on in Washington, and he's very much against President Trump. And this is something that he and the other attorney that set up this nonprofit for whistleblowers was doing. This isn't about just whistleblowers coming from anywhere. This was specifically targeting whistleblowers that wanted to go after President Trump. Basically, the deep state, the bureaucracy, people that wanted to target him, and this is what they're doing. And he made it perfectly clear in 2017 that a coup was coming, and it would be led by attorneys. And he's been right on.
Right.
You know, he's not a psychic.
Right.
He's an attorney.
And this
He
is a
just knew
guy.
what he was doing.
This is a guy who had the audacity to send a cease and desist letter to the president, saying, stop bringing up my client's name and objecting to the whistleblower complaint. Seriously? So, in other words, the attorney, without citing any law, is telling the president he is not allowed to defend himself against false accusations, nor is he allowed to utilize his First Amendment right to free speech. You know, in cease and desist letters, lawyers cite a law. Mm-hmm. These two lawyers cited no law because none exists. It's the temerity of these guys is really breathtaking.
It is breathtaking, Greg, and it's actually quite frightening what's happening right now in our country and how they are continually targeting the President of the United States. They're not just targeting him, they're targeting the people that voted for him.
Right.
And that's the American public, and that's the Constitution and the way we operate in this nation, the very foundation of our country. And I think President Trump should send a cease and desist letter to Adam Schiff. If I was him, I think that would be a would probably be a funny turn of events.
Adam Schiff was colluding with the whistleblower to set all of this up, again, to invent a pretext to impeach the president based on a whistleblower complaint that doesn't even meet the standards and the requisite conditions of a whistleblower complaint. He's a faux, fake whistleblower. Sarah Carter, as always, great to see you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Greg.
All right, Dan, you know what I love about that? This guy is trying to look so caring. These people are so courageous. I mean, they came forward. They have their careers and so much more at risk. Are you kidding?
Judge, listening to Adam Schiff talk about courage, he knows more about courage about as I know about neurosurgery right now, about cereal production in eastern Guyana. This guy doesn't know the first thing is the courage of a firefly. Listen to me. This case is BS. It's a farce. It's a joke. It's a bad magic act at a kid's birthday party. It's based on, as you said before, and you were correct, a transcript. What did you say before? The rest is white noise. The rest is all garbage. Disregard this whole thing. The claim against the president is that on this phone call, he made some illicit deal with the Ukrainians. That's the claim, right? The Democrats like to dazzle you with bull. You get the rest, right? The rest is nonsense. Now, on that transcript, they have 3 witnesses. They have the Colonel Vindman, who when asked to read the transcript under oath and to point out where this illicit deal took place, he sat there, Judge, looking, what do I do? They gave him a couple minutes. He couldn't find it.
Of course he couldn't find it.
Then you have witness number 2. Because it wasn't there. Wait, you have witness number 2, Bill Taylor, the charge d'affaires in Ukraine. They sent to Bill. They said, hey, Bill, where did you hear about this quid pro quo? He says, you know, I heard it from Bobby, who heard it from Tony, who heard it from a dude who bought a bagel and heard it from a guy in the store. He heard it fourth hand. Fourth hand. So you're going to impeach the president over what Bill Taylor heard from a dude who heard from another dude? And you got one more. You got Gordon Sondland, our EU ambassador, who literally texts Bill Taylor. The guy just said, text him. The president has been crystal clear. There is no quid pro quo. This case is a flaming pile of dog waste on your front porch, and only idiots believe in this nonsense.
Well, you know what? I mean, any judge worth her salt would dismiss this case before it even got to a jury.
Immediately.
I mean, it's absurd.
In an evidence hearing,
and you know what? I almost could understand it, but I mean, I get that they're evil. I almost could understand it if there were no transcript. We have the transcript. We have the guy on the other end. That is the best evidence. Let me ask you something. If you were accused of petty larceny, right? And I'm sure, and not you, if Joe Smith is accused of petty larceny, and Joe Smith says, you know, he's arrested. Oh, he's a thief, he's a thief, he's a thief. Okay, and 3 people say no. Mary Smith stole the tape. Joe didn't steal the tape. They don't care. They got other people to come in and say he stole it. Truth is irrelevant to these people.
Let me do one better here. You were a judge. In an evidence hearing, this case would be tossed because of this one reason. Good example there, but I'll do you one better here.
Go.
It's not that, you know, a bank was robbed and they're saying President Trump robbed the bank. There was no bank robbery. It's not that President Trump didn't rob the bank. No bank was robbed. We have the transcript. Read the transcript, you knuckleheads. Take a reading comprehension, you know, verbal advantage class or something, and read the damn transcript.
Okay.
There is nothing
Now, let me tell
in the
you
transcript.
what's
You're
going to
making
be
it up.
even better. What's going to be even better is he's going to issue the second transcript the day before. Okay, and then they're going to start with all these courageous people are coming out. There's so much at risk. Are you kidding me?
Judge,
Obama
it doesn't
fired the
matter.
whistleblower.
You're just going to make another story up.
Well,
come on, it doesn't matter. Trump can release every transcript from his kindergarten days on.
You're right.
It doesn't matter. They're just going to make up another hoax. That's why I don't think he should do it. He should flip them the double-barreled middle finger and say, no more of this crap. You guys have made up 3 hoaxes right now. I'm done with your hoaxes. Let's get to governing the country again.
Now, I got to tell you something really bothers me. I don't care about Marie Yovanovitch. Everyone's saying, oh, they said bad things about Marie Yovanovitch. Hey, Obama appointed you. Get out. We don't want you anymore. Why doesn't the president have that right? Because he's a Republican. It's crazy.
No, he does have that right. It's just like when George Bush fired U.S. attorneys, which he's allowed to do too. It became an international scandal. Yet when Obama pays off the Iranians with pallets of cash, he's celebrated with like a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, what are you expecting? Fairness?
When he extended the longest war we've ever been in. Dan Bongino, we love you. Thanks. Charlie.
If Iran is able to turn over to the US kidnapped former FBI agent Robert A. Levinson, who has been missing in Iran for 12 years, it would be a very positive step. At the same time, upon information and belief, Iran is, and has been, enriching uranium. That would be a very bad step. A great new book just out, The Plot Against the President. The true story of how Congressman Devin Nunes uncovered the biggest political scandal in US history. Shows very bad and corrupt people on the other side. Check it out. Retweet. Republicans have requested a list of witnesses for the impeachment hearings, alphabetical order. Devin Archer, Hunter Biden, Alexandra Chalupa, David Hale, Tim Morrison, Nellie Orr, Ambrose Volker. The whistleblower and their sources will, at Representative Adam Schiff, permit them to testify. Retweet. Rep. Swalwell claims, for the most part, witnesses have not been coordinating. For the most part? What about the individual leading the investigation? At Representative Adam Schiff, coordinating with the whistleblower before a complaint was even made? Their relentless toughness, outstanding leadership, and unwavering allegiance are invaluable assets to our nation, protecting our freedom and our way of life. Presidential message on the 244th birthday of the USMC. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for more daily, interesting content.